Hi, this is Dreama, and today we are doing a client reading, and I'm going to be using the Legacy of the Divine Tarot cards. These are one of my favorite decks of cards, and I connect really well with these cards. Now, like I said, it is a client reading. I won't be saying their name, but I know who they are, and they know who they are. I've shuffled these actually quite a bit ahead of time because, you know, what's going on with my camera is it only stays on for so many minutes and then it just kind of runs out. So I want to make sure that I do have enough time to actually, explain all the cards. Now, we're going to be using a 4-card spread today. I used to use a 3-card spread with this reading, but recently I have expanded that to 4. And the reason being is that what ends up happening after I do the reading is I will get a message from the client asking what do they do next. So I've added a card to kind of advise them, okay? Now, I'm going to be using, like I said, 4 cards, and what I'll do is I will lay the cards out and then I will go ahead and explain to you what each card represents, okay? So let's start off with, we're going to put 1 card here, and that's the 2nd. 3rd, and 4th. Okay, I'm going to move this rest of these cards kind of out of the way so that we can actually see the other cards better. Now, we're going to start with the card on this end, and this card talks about sexual attraction. It will tell us what kind of sexual attraction this person has to the client, okay, if any. The 2nd card will actually tell us about a spiritual or emotional connection that may be going on between these 2 people, okay? And the 3rd card is what I call the love card. This card will tell us just exactly how the person feels about the client, whether it be love or something else. And then the 4th card, like I said before, is what I consider to be the advice card. This card will tell us basically any kind of advice that the client may need to know about the relationship or things like that. So I'm going to start down here with the sexual attraction card and see what we have. Okay, it looks like we have the 7 of Wands. Now, this is an interesting card because, as you can see, there's a man holding a wand that is lit up, and there are a lot of them around him, and he's at the top of a stairway. And it looks like a door is what's going on. There's a doorway up there that he's standing in. So, what I am getting from this card in particular, there's a lot of light going on in this card. He's in a dark place, but there's a lot of light around him. Okay, so what this tells me is that this card to me stands for someone that has been in a very dark place, but they have the courage and the know-how to make something good out of something bad, if that makes sense. So when we apply that to sexual attraction, what that tells me is that the sexual attraction this person has for the client is a light in his otherwise dark life, okay? It's something that he looks forward to. It's something that he has taken. It's taken a lot of courage for this person to get to this point, okay? All right, now let's go ahead and move on to the 2nd card, which is the connection card. This is whether or not there is some kind of emotional, spiritual connection between these 2 people. Okay, and now we have the 9 of Wands, okay? This is an interesting card because, again, it's a card of Wands, and as you can see, there's a lot of light, and the outside down in here is kind of dark, and he's holding a wand, the man is, with his head down. Now, what this tells me about the spiritual connection between these 2 people is, again, it also shows me that this is a very strong person, okay? And also, if you'll notice, the man has his head down almost as if he is pausing, okay? That he is pausing and looking down. So what I'm getting is that there is a connection However, this person is hesitant. They are very hesitant to let anybody else see that connection. Okay? All right, now we're going to move on to what I call the love card. And this card will tell us what the feelings are for the client. Okay? And we have the King of Wands. Now, this again is a very powerful card. And if you'll notice, we have a lot of wands going on in this reading. And the King, to me, is, again, a very powerful card, okay? And because it's also a wand, as you can see, you know, it's a very dark card, but in the center, there's quite a bit of light going on, okay? And this tells me that this person has a very intense kind of love for this client. Whatever this is, this card to me speaks of someone that is extremely intense and almost motivated. As you can see, there is a circle. So that tells me there is a connection. And that connection is very intense. Okay? Now, finally, we're going to move on to the what I call the advice card, okay? And that's going to tell the client what they should or should not do in the future. Okay, and we have the Star. Now, this card is an interesting card. As you can probably see, again, it's very dark, and there is a star in the center to light it, and there's a lot of swirly things going on with the lady. Now, the Star normally means, you know, what I'm seeing is just, you know, it's normally a contentment. You know, something that, you know, it's not a bad card. That's definitely for sure. It's a very positive card. Okay, so in that respect, as far as advice, okay, what I see is just a lot of, you know, good things. It's not, there isn't anything at all bad about this card. It's extremely positive, okay, and it's actually a good sign. It normally means that, you know, there's kind of like a clear vision. So what I'm getting is this client needs to have a clear vision of this relationship. You know, and if in fact you do, and you actually have a vision of what the relationship is and how it will progress, then what you'll end up with is a sort of peace and contentment, okay? So they need to have a clear vision. To me, that means you need to keep your eyes open, okay? So I'm going to go back and go over these just, you know, one more time to be sure. What I'm seeing, like I said, is that what you have with this card is basically a sexual relationship that is the light of someone's life. Really, that's exactly what it is. And as far as contentment, what I'm getting from this card, well, not contentment, I'm sorry. What I'm getting from this card, the Nine of Wands, tells me that this person has a very strong spiritual connection, an emotional connection. However, they're having a tendency to pause. And what I'm getting from that is that somewhere in the past, something's happened to this person that makes them hesitant to actually go through with that connection. They have it, but there's just something there, something from the past. And then the love card, like I said, what I see is something that's very intense. And it is love, as you can see, it's a circle. There's light in the darkness. And then lastly, you know, the advice, clear vision to make sure that you see the situation as it is. And it will all turn out to be, from this card, what it's telling me is that a peaceful contentment relationship, but you must keep a clear vision and keep your eyes open. Okay? All right, that does conclude my reading for today. I do want to thank everyone for joining us, and I do hope that you will join us again.